They dominate the skyline, dwarfing everything in their shadow. Skyscrapers are more than just buildings. They are expressions of ambition, testaments to engineering, and symbols of economic power. But why has humanity become obsessed with building taller, reaching higher, and redefining the boundaries of the possible? This is the story of the race to build the tallest skyscraper, a race that reflects the evolution of our civilization and the never-ending quest for supremacy. The story begins in the late 19th century, a time when cities were expanding horizontally, not vertically. Streets teemed with activity, but buildings rarely rose beyond 5 or 6 stories. The turning point came with 2 revolutionary innovations: the safety elevator, invented by Elisha Otis in 1852, and the development of steel frame construction. Together, these technologies laid the foundation for what we now call the skyscraper. In 1885, Chicago unveiled the home insurance building, widely regarded as the world's first skyscraper. At just 10 stories tall, it wouldn't even register on modern skylines, but at the time, it was groundbreaking. This modest structure set the stage for a new era of architecture, one where the sky was no longer the limit. As the 20th century dawned, cities like New York and Chicago became arenas for architectural competition. These were cities of opportunity, wealth, and rapid industrialization, and their skylines reflected their aspirations. In New York, buildings like the Woolworth Building, dubbed the Cathedral of Commerce, rose to prominence, showcasing not just height but ornate Gothic design. Completed in 1913, it stood at 792 feet and became the tallest building in the world at the time. The 1920s brought a new aesthetic and a new level of ambition. Art Deco design swept through architecture, blending style with grandeur. This was the era that gave birth to the Chrysler Building, an icon of its time. Completed in 1930, it stood at 1,046 feet, briefly holding the title of the tallest building in the world. Its spire, a last-minute addition to outdo a rival project, was secretly constructed inside the building and hoisted into place, a testament to the fierce competition of the time. But no sooner had the Chrysler Building claimed its crown than it was dethroned. In 1931, the Empire State Building soared into the sky at 1,250 feet, becoming not just the tallest building, but an enduring symbol of New York City. Built during the Great Depression, it was a defiant statement of hope and resilience. For over 40 years, it remained unchallenged as the tallest building in the world. By the mid-20th century, the race for height had become global. Economic recovery after World War II fueled new ambitions, and cities around the world began to rise. In New York, the World Trade Center towers, completed in 1973, reached 1,368 and 1,362 feet, respectively, briefly reclaiming the title of the tallest buildings in the world. But this period also marked the rise of a new contender in the skyscraper race: Asia. In 1998, the Petronas Towers in Kuala Lumpur redefined the skyline of Malaysia and set a new benchmark. At 1,483 feet, these twin towers were not just engineering marvels but cultural landmarks, incorporating Islamic motifs in their design. For 6 years, they stood as the tallest buildings in the world, a source of immense national pride and a symbol of Malaysia's emerging economic power. The 21st century saw the epicenter of skyscraper construction shift dramatically to Asia and the Middle East. China, in particular, embraced skyscrapers as a means to display its rapid modernization. Cities like Shanghai, Shenzhen, and Guangzhou became home to super-tall structures, including the Shanghai Tower, completed in 2015. Standing at 2,073 feet, it's not just one of the tallest buildings in the world, but also a feat of sustainability, with a twisting design that reduces wind loads and double-layered glass to improve energy efficiency. And then there's Dubai. In 2010, the Burj Khalifa shattered records and expectations. At 2,717 feet, it remains the tallest structure ever built. Its construction was an audacious gamble, costing an estimated $1.5 billion. But for Dubai, it was worth every penny, a declaration to the world that it had arrived as a global city. Building a skyscraper is no small feat as buildings grow taller. The challenges grow exponentially. Wind, for example, becomes a significant force to reckon with. Engineers use advanced wind tunnel testing to ensure stability, designing features like tuned mass dampers and aerodynamic shapes to reduce sway. The Taipei 101 in Taiwan, for instance, has a massive 660-ton ball suspended near its top to counteract typhoon winds and earthquakes. But as impressive as these structures are, they come with a cost, both financial and environmental. The carbon footprint of building materials like concrete and steel is immense, and maintaining these giants requires enormous energy. Critics argue that in a world grappling with climate change, should we continue to invest in projects that prioritize height over sustainability? Despite these concerns, the quest for height continues. Projects like Saudi Arabia's Jeddah Tower, which aims to surpass 3,280 feet, signal that the race is far from over. Expected to be the centerpiece of an entirely new urban development, the Jeddah Tower is more than just a building. It's a statement of the country's ambitions to diversify its economy and showcase its technological prowess. Skyscrapers have evolved from simple rectangular boxes to architectural masterpieces. Modern designs incorporate green technologies, vertical gardens, and mixed-use spaces. The Marina Bay Sands in Singapore, for example, combines luxury hotels, casinos, and a rooftop infinity pool, blurring the line between structure and experience. But the race for height is about more than engineering. It's about power, economic, political, and cultural. For cities like Dubai, Shanghai, and Riyadh, these skyscrapers are not just buildings. They are advertisements, attracting tourists, businesses, and global attention. For nations, they are declarations of ambition, signaling their place on the world stage. Yet, not everyone sees the race as a triumph. Some urban planners argue that the focus on building taller distracts from more pressing issues: affordable housing, public transportation, and access to green spaces. In cities like New York and Hong Kong, where space is at a premium, critics question whether super-tall skyscrapers truly benefit the broader population. Even as debates rage, the drive to build taller persists. Skyscrapers are humanity's way of reaching for the heavens, a testament to our ingenuity, ambition, and desire to conquer the impossible. From the home insurance building to the Burj Khalifa, each structure tells a story of its time, its place, and the people who dared to dream. The race to build the tallest skyscraper is more than just a contest of engineering. It is a reflection of who we are, a species that looks up, dreams big, and builds even bigger. As we continue to push the limits of height, we must also ask ourselves, what legacy do we want to leave? And how high are we willing to go? This is not just the story of buildings. It's the story of ambition, innovation, and the unyielding pursuit of greatness. The skyline is our canvas, and the skyscraper is our masterpiece. The race is far from over. If you enjoyed uncovering the story behind the world's tallest skyscrapers and the race for global dominance, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Here we dive deep into the stories, innovations, and ambitions shaping our world, one towering achievement at a time.